in the Quran. But who was this man? Was he also a prophet? Some say he found the elixir of immortality, but the price was heavy. He went through many hardships. He was born as a slave. He gained his freedom, but he was chained 3 more times, and he escaped all 3 times. He came to know Prophet Dawood. Many interesting stories happened between Dawood and Luqman. He lived for more than 1,000 years. What were the secrets of this great wali's long life? You will watch the full story of Luqman, from his childhood to his youth and to his old age. You are on the Religious Story TV YouTube channel. We continue our series about prophets and saints. Subscribe to the channel so you do not miss anything. Like this video so that this Islamic message reaches more people. Whoever leads someone to good is like the one who does it. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Our story goes back to the 11th century before Christ, to the upper basin of the Nile River, in the land that is today Sudan and southern Egypt. It was one of the most turbulent periods of the ancient world. In that dusty land, where the power of the Egyptian pharaohs was felt, with dark skin, thick lips, and a simple appearance. In that land called Nubia, slavery existed, but it was not based on race. The Nubian people were black, and they could be slaves, soldiers, government workers, leaders, and masters at the same time. Luqman's father, Bora, was only one of tens of thousands who were turned into slaves by society. And Luqman's roots went back to the ancient African lands fed by the rich waters of the Nile, to Nubia, and according to some sources, to Habasha. Northern parts of Egypt and Sudan were under the control of the Egyptian kingdom. Egypt took gold, ivory, exotic animals, and yes, human labor, slaves, from this region. In that time, the main source of slavery was not race, but war. When the Egyptians attacked the south, they captured Nubians and took them to Egypt as slaves. But when the Nubians defeated the Egyptians, they also took Egyptians as slaves. Luqman grew up in this chaotic period of war. His childhood did not pass with games like other children, but with heavy work and deep silence. As a slave child, people expected only obedience from him, but Luqman had something different inside him, something his masters and the people around him could not understand. He liked listening more than speaking, and watching more than playing. Even when he was very young, he studied the cycle of nature, the movement of animals, and the growth of plants with amazing attention. They say that while everyone was awake during the day, he would fall into deep thoughts, and at night he would watch the sky. There are different stories about his job, but we know that his childhood and early youth were spent in work where he could stay away from people and close to nature. Some say he was a shepherd and learned the plants of the mountains while feeding his herd. Some say he was a carpenter's apprentice and discovered the secrets inside the wood there. But one thing is certain. While he grew up with rough hands and slave clothes, a wisdom was forming in his mind. A wisdom that even the kings of that time did not have. Luqman, who worked as a shepherd and as a slave with his family in the countryside under the orders of his masters until his youth, began to notice his connection with plants when he was 17 years old. When he realized this, he started making different medicines from them. With these medicines, he could heal the sick people in the village. Soon, he became known first in his own village, then in the nearby regions, as a healer. Many people heard about this young slave and came to see him, but some people were very disturbed by his growing fame. We all know that Prophet Suleiman understood the language of animals and could communicate with them. In a similar way, Luqman began to understand the language of plants and trees with great wisdom. Healers say, Allah created plants for his servants. Each plant told Luqman what illness it could cure. Allah created thousands of plants and gave each one a special quality. And these plants are a cure for 770 kinds of illnesses through human hands. The magicians in the region, those who made their living by deceiving people and taking advantage of their emotions, could not accept the attention that Luqman was receiving. According to some reports, they secretly joined together, bought Luqman and his family from their owners, and then freed them on one condition, that they must go far away. But in other sources, the story of Luqman being freed is told in a different way. One day, his master asked him to slaughter a sheep and bring 2 pieces of meat from its best part. Luqman brought the heart and the tongue. The master was surprised. Then he asked him to bring 2 pieces of meat from the worst parts of another sheep. Luqman again brought the heart and the tongue. The master became angry and asked, "What are you doing?" Luqman replied, "If a person is on the path of goodness, there is nothing better than the heart and the tongue. But if a person is on the path of evil, again, there is nothing worse than the heart and the tongue." According to the story, after this conversation, his master freed him. According to these reports, Luqman was about 17 or 18 years old when he became free. Now he could travel to far places, discover plants he had never seen before, and learn their secrets. And that is what happened. During his journey that continued all the way to Egypt, Luqman discovered many new plants, increased his knowledge, and found cures for many more illnesses. Some sources say that Luqman alayhi salam came from the lineage of Ayub and Ibrahim. In the Quran, Surah Luqman contains the verse, "We gave Luqman wisdom." This raised his honor. The knowledge and wisdom given to Luqman was knowledge given by inspiration. Luqman knew the truth of things and had the ability to place everything in its correct place according to truth. By showing one part of this knowledge, the science of medicine, through plants and minerals, he earned the honor of being seen as the founder of this science. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said about Luqman, "His thoughts are deep, he understands the beauty in everything. His heart is full of love, and he is a servant who has been given affection, and wisdom has been granted to him." Some people believe that Luqman might have been a prophet, but the general view of Islamic scholars is that he was not a prophet. They say he was a righteous servant to whom Allah gave special knowledge and wisdom. He is one of the 3 people whose prophethood is debated.
ابدأ بخطوة جديدة من هوستنجر. احصل على استضافة ووردبريس مدارة مقابل $3.29 فقط في الشهر وشغلها.
The other 2 are Zulkarnain and Uzair. It is said that after Khidr, who is believed by some to still be alive among us for thousands of years, the person who lived the longest is Luqman. When he came to Egypt, his fame began to spread quickly. He started treating the people there as well, but he also gained enemies because magicians and fake healers hated him. The same ugly words that had been used against prophets and saints were now being used